Hello all, here we go with the fifth part of this tutorial, modeling, texturing, lighting and interior in 3dsmax using Vray. So let's get started. So we have some textures over here. As you can see, I have downloaded some textures over here. So we can utilize such kind of textures for this. So let's get started. So very first of all, whenever you start working with the V-Ray texturing part, so very first of all, what you have to do is you can just go into this rendering part, render setup, and go into rendering, and we can take this V-Ray ADV, just click OK. Okay. So now just go down. So let's start. So if we require to unwrap it, we can easily unwrap it. Whatever things we need to unwrap it, we can unwrap it. And if you don't need to unwrap it, it's fine. You can use the UVW map for it from like a modifier. And if you want to unwrap it, you can use it from the unwrap UVW. So other thing, you can also use the multi-sub object as you have used in the standard materials. So you can utilize the multi-sub object while working over here with the V-Ray also. So let's start with the normal texturing over here. So first of all, let's give a texture to this carpet. So click over here, press M on your keyboard for getting into the material editor. So you have a two material editor, one is compact material editor and the other is a slate material editor. That is your we call it as like node based material editor. So let's make it normal. If you want to work on a compact material editor, you can make it a compact material editor. So let's go into the standard materials. So you have all these different slots. So you can go into this V-Ray and we have a V-Ray material, that is MTL. Double click on it. Let's rename it as the carpet material. So as you're going to material the carpet, so click on the diffuse. Diffuse is what your object color, whatever. If you're going to give a texture, you can give onto the diffuse. If you want to give a roughness to the texture, you can give a bit of roughness from here. So click over here. Let's call out the texture from here, that is a bitmap. Let's go into this, the texture. Let's go into the texture folder and let's see, we can take this carpet texture. So click on this carpet texture. Let's preview texture first over here. Okay, alright. So double click on the texture and you can just assign material to selection, show shaded material into the viewport. So as you can see, the texture of the carpet is easily applied over here. So if you want to resize the material, you have two options over here. You can go into the material and you can tile the texture. So if you want to tile it, you can easily tile it. The other option is you can go into this modifier list and you can give a UVW map. So into this you can just increase the length, width and height if you want to tile it in this way. Okay, so the second, let's go into the material again. Second part, that is your standard second slot, V-Ray material. You can go into this V-Ray material. You can go into this diffuse bitmap and let's see, we have some kind of flow marble texture. So we can utilize this marble texture. For that, you can utilize the marble texture. So this is a wooden texture. So let's utilize this marble. So that's what your Adobe stock. Just initialize the texture over here. Now after applying this texture over here, now what I want is, I want to give a bit of reflection to it. So you can just switch it back and you can rename it as floor and you have a reflection property. So if the black for the reflection, that means the reflection is very less. So as you shift it towards the white color, the reflection will increase slowly. So you can increase the reflection over here. You can increase the reflection. you can, you can just try to check it. So you can just render and you can check it. So if you see, you might see the reflection over here, a bit of reflection over here. You can see a bit of reflection over here. So that reflection is actually caused because of the parameter which we have set up over here. So this property, so you can increase more. If you want reflection more, you can increase it more. And click OK. So if you want to tile it, you can easily tile it. You can go into this and you can tile it, like, make it 3 by 3, or if the texture is big enough, so you can keep this same texture away. Now we have this two properties over here. So how we can utilize it over here, like this. So if I select this particular area and if I go down, you can set up a ID over here. You can set up a ID. Let's give ID is 1 over here. So let's go into the material. Go into the material part. So let's go into the material. So let me first save this image or file. Sorry. Go into this material. Go into the standard, and we have an option over here that you can also give multi-sub object. It's also there in the Vray part. Okay, you can give multi-sub object, which is required over here. So you can go from here also. Go into this Vray option. Either you can go from there, or either you can utilize this material from here also. Multi-sub texture. So you can apply the multi-sub texture over here. You can assign the material over here, like the material which you have to give over here. So you can just assign that particular texture. So this is a light gray finish texture. So let's check it out. So whatever texture suits the best, that is a white paint for the wall or the one side. So we can take this texture, that is a light gray color. So let's take a light gray and apply it. So after applying it, you can just go over here and you can take a UVW map and make it as a box. Right click on it, convert to editable poly. So as you can see that the texture is easily applied over here. So after that, you can again select the polygons. You can go into the material and you can set up another ID over here. You can set up ID as 2 over here. You can go into this back, none, and call the same texture, the texture which we have required over here. We can take the second texture, that is your white wall texture, that is a white paint texture. So let's take the white paint texture over here. So let's assign that material white paint over here, and you can use a UVW map again and give it a box. Okay, So you get two different textures which are actually required over here. You can easily convert this to the editable poly. So as you can see over here, you have two different IDs for the wall. So with one slot, with the use of this Vray multi-sub texture, you have applied two materials over here. Okay, so okay, minimize it. After this step, let's go over here. So you can give the full texture over here. Now after this step, you can just check out the reference over here. So we require a wooden material over here. So just click on this. Let's go into this. Go into the standard V-Ray material. We can go into this diffuse. We can go into this bitmap, and we can check out some wooden materials. This is a bit of darker wood. We can take a bit of light wood. So this is also a kind of a plain wood. You can utilize it. So we can take a bit of this color wood over here, which we have actually applied the lighter wood, right? So take the light wood texture over here, the light wood texture. So assign it over here like this, and you can also apply UVW map over here. Same texture you can easily apply for, you can say, the shelves. You can name it as shelves underscore 1. So this is for the shelves. Also for this is also the same texture, so you can apply the same kind of texture for this also. You can apply the same texture to this object also, and also you can assign the same texture over here also. So you can rename it if you want to rename it, because already it's a single texture. So if you don't rename it, it's fine. Now the part of this particular photo frame, you can go into this standard, and you can if you want to make it into a kind of landscape, so you can just rotate it. If you rotate it, you can standard V-Ray material, and let's give a bit of some good landscape onto it. So assign this. Oops. Okay. So now you can see it's so you can rotate it. You can rotate the texture. So you also have a property into this. You can use this UVW option, and you can rotate it. you can rotate it, or you can go into this UVW and you can rotate this gizmo. So as soon as you rotate this gizmo, the texture will automatically get rotated, and you can convert this into this editable poly. So you can put this over here as it is also. So click over here and you can assign the same material. So this is what your gray color is. So select this part again and assign this material. So this material is properly assigned over here now. So you can rename this as your photo frame part over here. Okay, so minimize it. So as you can see, there is a bit of a darker texture. So you can utilize a bit of a darker texture for this. And this is also, we have left out the one texture over here. So you can just quickly select that part. You can just quickly select that part, go into material and assign the same texture that is required. And now if you press Ctrl I, that is what for the inverse. So whatever selections you have done, and if you want to inverse it, you can easily press Ctrl I. So Ctrl I is for the inverse selection. So let's go again into this. We can go over here, again take a Vray material. We can go into this. Let's take a bitmap and let's take a bit of a darker wooden texture. So you can take this as a wooden texture. We have a lot of wooden textures, so you can easily choose from it. Either you can take this or you can take the previous one, that is this one, the dark fine texture. You can easily apply onto it, and as usual you can give it as the same darker color to it. So as you can see, so now onto the wood, you still require a bit of reflection. You can just go into this property and you can give a bit of reflection. Same for this wood also, you can give a bit of reflection property if it is necessary. If you want, you can give it. So the same texture will be applied on this and this. The same for the furniture. If you require the same texture, you can give the same kind of a texture. So if you don't need the same texture, we can switch with a new texture. So go into the standard, go into this Vray material, again go into the bitmap, and let's check out some more other textures or darker texture. That is this one, D0. So we can actually, this is not renamed well, so we can take this texture. Oh, yeah, this looks better. So now you can again use the UVW map. This seems better. So apply the same material, UVW map, and you can make it, set all this for a box, and UVW map for all. Perfect. So even if you apply this for this, it's fine. It looks better, not bad. But you can use that material which we have taken it. So convert to editable poly, and you can rename this texture as shelf_1. So let's go into the camera view and you can just check out. So you can see that's done, right? So still long way to go. So we'll continue this in the next session. Till then, goodbye.